not being reciprocal with people, or early entrepreneurship, when I was really getting into this real estate investing thing, when I really wanted to make a lot of money because I didn't have any money, and any money would have been great. Right? I was looking to make that first 100,000. I was really excited about it, but I was nervous. I was scared, and I had made a major mistake in my life. I had become an introvert, and I was really proud of it. I really actually used to say I hate people, can't stand people, don't want to spend any time with people. And I was really vehement about this idea of solitude and isolation. And when I got my real estate license, I even said, I will never help another person close a piece of real estate. I will never help another person buy real estate. And I know if you have a relationship with me, you're like, what the hell? Who is this guy? I was not the same person I am today. And as I was going through life looking for buying real estate, I started having to talk to realtors. I had started having to talk to sellers. And I started noticing I was very gruff and quick and sharp and not interested in any kind of rapport. I kept getting a lot of no's. I kept getting a lot of, yeah, no, not went with somebody else. And then I remember being so upset that people would go with somebody because they wrote a fucking letter about how their kid is going to be so nice in the house and how this was going to be such a good place for them. And I remember like don't read the freaking letter, like just take my offer, right? I was here first. Like all this stupid little nitpicky things of a person who doesn't quite understand human relationship. And it wasn't until years later that I really started getting into sales and really started understanding that none of the deals I did ever really mattered. The ones that I made money on, the ones that I didn't really matter. It was the relationships I built with the human beings that actually mattered. It was the tenants that I was able to take care of, the families that were under my responsibility to make sure they had clean, safe housing. That was what really mattered in the business, because later on, those brought me better deals, but I got these sleep at night points, this ability to actually like my business. Because there was a point where I really hated everything that I was doing, because everything that I was doing connected me to more people. And there was a point where that was painful to me. It wasn't until I shifted and started saying that I love people and started giving a lot of my time, giving a lot of my energy, giving a lot of my resources, that I actually started liking my business again. Where I actually started liking my tenants, where I actually started liking negotiating with sellers. Actually started liking agents and liking my lenders and my attorneys. And it wasn't until I started liking people, I started being able to raise capital. And it wasn't until I started liking people that I liked paying my investors, that I was able to start really having a lot of investors who I was actually changing their lives. So today's wealth principle is the law of reciprocity, wealth principle number 15. If this is your first time, welcome back, Alchemist. This is the 52 Weeks to Wealth. My name is Walter Morello, the real estate mentor. I've been doing this building millionaires thing for the last 5 years. We've been on this journey for 5 years building millionaires. The goal is 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. We now have 28 locations across the country with other leaders who are committed to building millionaires. So let's give all of our leaders on the call a big round of applause. Thank you for everything that you're doing, all the people that you're working with and supporting. So the question I get all the time is like, how do you build millionaires, bro? Well, it's simple. We buy real estate. Show of hands if you're committed to buying more real estate this year. Double your net worth, double your income. Absolutely. You can do it in one deal. There are deals that are $5 million deals, $10 million deals. There are deals if your net worth is not 100. If you just need to get to 100,000, maybe just buy a $500,000 house for $400,000. Boom, instant equity. You can buy houses with no money down. It's true, but it takes relationships. It takes understanding how to negotiate. It takes understanding the business and the infrastructure. Today, we're going to talk about a principle that has been revolutionary in my life, but it's not new. It's not something that has been around for just a few days. This thing has been around for centuries. Since the beginning of mankind's existence on this planet, we have had something called the law of reciprocity. Show of hands if you've heard give to people and you get it's better to give than to receive. We've heard this. I think it's actually better to do both. I think it's better to have a relationship with a person where you get to give and receive. Show of hands if you feel like those relationships more, where it's just mutual. It's like give back, give. So there's a book of the week today. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Every week we do have a book. And the reason for this whole process, this whole program, was at one point I was broke as hell. And I had nothing. And I was mad. And I was frustrated with my life. And I just wanted to be better. I thought that I could do a good job if I understood how money worked. And when I went through my first divorce, my only divorce, let me be clear, when I went through that divorce at 28 years old, I realized I was messing up my life. I was doing something wrong. I wasn't listening. I wasn't caring. I wasn't making the right decisions about the people I was spending my time with. And really had to make some shifts. Show of hands if you ever had to make some shifts, change some things, change some people, change how this was thinking. So there's three things that we're going to look at today, three strategies for using this law of reciprocity to increase your income, increase your net worth, and increase your overall happiness. And the reason we're doing it is because if we don't make ourselves happy while we get rich, there's a good chance we'll lose it all. I've been doing a lot of roadmap calls. I've been doing a lot of dream map calls with people this week and last week. And what I've discovered is there is a blueprint, a financial blueprint. If you've read Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, you know what I'm talking about, where people's income will go up, 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 and then suddenly crash. Or it will just be consistent for a long period of time and never have an increase. Or some people have figured out how to go from 100,000, a quarter million to a half a million to $1 million. Show of hands if you'd like to know that last one. Figure that out. Awesome. So we'll talk a little bit about how the law of reciprocity can tie into that increase of income. But it is inevitable that no matter where you're going in life, you're going to need other people. The 52 Weeks to Wealth, today we're going to talk about one strategy, an action step, series of action steps that you can use to implement the law of reciprocity no matter where you are today, and a way that you can increase the amount of money that you have access to today. We're also going to go into very quickly a little hypnosis session or a guided meditation session with Doug McGurk. He's going to help us take action today. So if you have a hard time with letting other people control your brain, welcome to the world. Everybody's doing it to you already. The TV, the stop sign, the laws, the government, everybody's already controlling everything that you do. The only thing that could be different is maybe if we deprogram some of the stuff that's not working for you. Show of hands if we have permission to deprogram some of the broken stuff. Maybe eliminate procrastination, eliminate the desire to be right all the time instead of being rich. Maybe eliminate some of those thoughts of take care of me. If they don't take care of me, I'm not going to take care of them. That stuff that slows us down. So uh, I did I did come to this real estate thing a pretty broken person, and there was a lesson that I learned, a gift that was given to me by one of my coaches early on. I worked for this company called Remax. They have this big balloon that floats over cities, and at Remax, it stands for Real Estate Maximum. I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that until I got in there, but I bought my first couple of rental properties through these Remax agents, my first mentor. And he brought me to this training program. This training program, it was a room full of real estate agents, a whole bunch of people who I thought were all way more successful than me, which in many cases, some of them were. And then there were some people in there who owned no real estate, but were realtors. And we were going through this training together, all of us equal. In this moment, we were all equal. And some were millionaires, some owned real estate, some were like really, really high producers. And then there was me, the guy who'd never sold a piece of real estate, but did own two rental properties. So separated myself a little bit from that. And they started training us. They started telling us, you're a real estate agent. It's all about relationships. You got to make these posts on Facebook. You got to be known. You got to call all your sphere of influence. And everybody who you have in your phone, like, is going to help you buy real estate. And I was like, excuse me, I have no friends. I have systematically removed all human beings from my life. That's probably not going to work for me. And they're like, well, here's one that's you're going to have to go with this direction then. You're going to have to meet new people. And then when you meet new people, you're going to have to give them something. And I was like, wait, I don't have anything. So I'm pretty broke right now. I kind of just going through a divorce and I don't have any friends. So how am I supposed to give something if I don't have anything? And he said, well, the simplest thing you can give is knowledge. The simplest thing that you could give a person who is potentially going to sell a house with you or through you is to give them knowledge on the process, give them knowledge on how they could benefit from it, teach, educate, train. I said, okay, I could do that. That's something that I could give. And I started doing videos. I started training people on how to buy real estate. I started training realtors on how to negotiate deals. I started training people on how to fix their houses so that their houses got a little bit better sell rate. When you sell it, the price went up. Curb appeal. I started doing those little fix-it videos, all sorts of little stuff to kind of get attention on the fact that I didn't have anything, but I had this one skill set, which was, make real estate nicer. And the more I did that, the more attention I got. More people said, man, like, thank you for that video. That's really awesome. And I started getting these referrals. People, like the people that I was adding value to didn't own real estate, but they had friends who did, and they'd start making these connections for me. And before you know it, I was going to people's houses. There was one house I remember very specifically. I went to this place in Rhode Island, and I went to this house, and this woman's name was Bridget, and she said, "Oh my God, you're just like in the video." And for a moment in my head, I was like, what the F is happening? Because I don't know you, but you somehow know me and you expected me to be exactly the way I am right now. And I had to ask her, I said, what video? What do you mean? And she said, well, my friend sent me a video of you explaining how to walk through a house to get it prepared for a listing. And I was doing that in her house, and she was having a moment of like, whoa, this is exactly the stuff he says on a video. He's in my house doing this exact same thing. And she felt like she was part of the process of listing because I'd already given her understanding. I'd already created some sort of gift. So when I was in the house doing it again for free, it felt bigger because I'd created context around the gift itself. In the video, I'd mentioned how valuable it was to know these little tips and know these things. So when I was doing it personally for her in her house, the perceived value of the gift that I was giving was tremendous. It was 10 times bigger. So fans, if we understand, gifts can be different sizes in the mind of the beholder. Just because the smile seemed cheap and easy to us doesn't mean that to the other person it didn't just save their life or create their whole day or make them feel inspired to go and write or do that thing that's going to change the lives of somebody else. The gifts that we give, the giving isn't all created equal. And so it's really an interesting game as we dive into this law of reciprocity. I just want to make sure that we all understand that giving isn't always apples and oranges. It isn't always, well, it could be apples and oranges. It isn't always oranges to oranges. Many times it can change. And that's what alchemy is all about, is how do we transmute relationships into money? How do we transmute real estate into purpose, into impact, into giving back, into changing the lives of the people around us? So, Fence, you're committed to helping people beyond just you. You're committed to building your 100 millionaires as well. Awesome. Let's give each one of you a big round of applause. I love that concept. Now, let's dive into some of the tactics because this 52 weeks of wealth is not about just learning and listening. Although Ken Ingram, you are not allowed to do any actions while you're driving across the country right now. So if you're in a car and you're driving, please keep your hands on the wheel. Of if your wife's driving, okay, give Vicky a big round of applause. She's driving for Ken, just making sure they get there safe. They've been looking at hotels. They've been going across the country looking at hotels, looking to buy things. And I think that to me is one of the coolest ways that you can spend time with your spouse. So if your spouse isn't on board, get your spouse on board, have some trips, have some vacations, make them real estate related where you buy some stuff that cash flows. Now, these action steps that we do every single week are designed to be implemented this week, not next week, not I take notes and I do it later. Successful people take action now. Drop in the chat if you know when successful people take action. The word would be a three-letter word, starts with an N-O-W. Drop it in the chat if you know what time to take action. Successful people take action now. This is what we do. So the action I'm going to ask you to take is to start, pull out a pen and paper if you have it. If you don't have it, you could pull out a note on your phone. You could text a buddy or a friend. But we're going to take an action together that is going to move you towards knowing where you can give for free. Some of you don't have money. Some of you don't have knowledge. Some of you don't have real estate, or some of you don't have connections. So we're going to talk about how to get all three of those things. The first is high value property. So I'm sorry, not high value property. Give freely. So when you are giving freely, it comes from a place of expecting nothing, no, low expectations, no expectations. I remember Gary Vee saying this a while back. He said, if you want to be truly happy in this world, expect nothing from everybody. Expect nothing from everybody, and you will find and identify true happiness in this world. And it is true. I expect nothing from anyone. When you do something, I get accused often of being one of those people who gives a lot of compliments. That's because I'm truly fucking astounded that you did something. I'm like genuinely like, whoa, you showed up on time. Great job. Let's give you a round of applause, right? If you show up to the 52 weeks of wealth every single week and you take the actions, I'm like, my mind is literally blown. I'm like, whoa, you're like doing things that make you successful. I'm shocked, right? I've been doing this for 5 years. It's my fifth season of doing the 52 weeks of wealth, and I've watched hundreds of people drop off. So when I see you keep showing up, to me, it's impressive. It's like, wow, like I didn't scare you away last week with the work that I gave you, and you showed up again, and now you're still implementing and doing all of these things. You have to give yourselves a round of applause. So seriously, clap it up. You're crushing it. Now, this idea of giving freely, there are different types of giving. The first can be physical human contact, physical high fives, hugs, time, touch, any kind of physical kinesthetic. A dap could be a gift. Holding somebody in a moment of pain or trial or tribulation. By the way, the worse a person is doing at the moment that you give the gift, the more valuable the gift is to them. It may cost you the same amount of time to smile at a person who's crying, struggling, or at the most ecstatic point of their life. It's the same amount of time, but the value that they receive is completely different. Show of hands if we can grasp this. All right, so I want you to, as we're going through some of these examples, I want you to write down 3 things that you could give away for free. 3 things you can give away for free. And these are potential lead magnets. We talk about this often in the marketing world. Lead magnets. By the way, show of hands if you're looking to raise more capital this year. If you're a capital raiser, looking to bring in capital. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, okay, okay. Show of hands if you're looking to buy more real estate. So you need off-market deals. You need really, really good deals from people who are hidden, right? They're not telling anybody else. Awesome. Excellent. Show of hands if you're looking for partners to do all the work for you. You don't want to do any work and you want somebody else to do all the work for you. Mitch, put your damn hand up. Awesome. All right. All right. So some of us are maybe looking for really tactical operators. Awesome. So there's a gift that you can give for each one of those. For the education side, if you're looking to raise capital, then you may want to educate on how managing property works, on how to operate property. The interesting thing, how loans are structured, and how to choose and evaluate an operation of a property. Because you want to also point out how much work it is, right? When you're looking for passive investors, all you have to do is convince me that what you're doing is really hard and that you're really good at it. If you can convince me that 2 things, it's hard and you're really good, and then the third thing, it has to be profitable. I'm interested, right? If it's really, really hard, but you're really, really good, then there's a chance that my money is going to do very well and that this is a unique opportunity. The other type of gift that you can give, or teaching gift, giving gift, is when you're looking for partners, when you're looking for people to operate for you, you really want to talk about the importance of having these deals. Like, just talk about how it's so hard to find a good deal. I've got all this money, and money just needs a good return on investment. You want to talk about the type of return on investment that you're looking for. Like, when I'm looking for people to work with me, I'm like, I always want to get 12, 15%. I'm always looking for a 25, 30% IRR. I talk about those a lot when I'm looking to recruit people who are going to bring me deals, right? When I'm looking for people to bring me deals. Wholesalers, right? If I'm looking for wholesalers, I talk about the buy box that I have, 70% ARV. Show of hands if you've heard gurus talk about these things. You've heard gurus, yes, yes. That's because they're hunting. They're looking for certain types of inventory in the world. So if a person's teaching you wholesaling, they're looking for deals. If a person is teaching you how to invest in passive instruments, they're looking for capital. If a person teaches you how to bring or work with investors, they're looking to get you to do work for them. If they're teaching you how to work with investors, how to make sure that the investor has no work, doesn't have to think, they're looking for work to be done for them. So hence we catch these 3 things. These 3 gifts that don't cost you anything. Excellent. Next, moving forward, gift giving. Gift giving that is received very well. Chocolates, flowers, the wonderful gift of a free report or a website or access. You see Alchemist Station, we give your millionaire path. It's like, hey, free millionaire path. You want to be a millionaire? Here, go answer these 6 questions. We'll spit out a result just for you. Very specific gift. For all of you who know, I Build Millionaires is a free gift. This 100 Millionaires, this whole concept of 52 Weeks of Wealth is something we give away for free. This is a training that's also community related. So these are lead magnets. These are gifts that we give to draw in people who might be like-minded. So gift giving can come in the form of physical gifts. It can come in the form of experience. It can come in the form of a vacation you give somebody, or a training course that you give them access to, a report that you give them. It's a physical thing that they can kind of go through. The third type of reciprocity is quality time. And by the way, if you've ever read the 5 love languages, that's exactly where I'm pulling these from. These are the 5 love languages that people receive as currency that you can't see. Like, you can't, I mean, you can kind of see gifts. That's the only one. But the other 4 are like invisible kind of things that are given, love that's given. Show of hands if you've read the 5 love languages. So familiar with what we're talking about here. Awesome. Excellent. So law of reciprocity comes from love. It comes from transacting what love actually is, which is a comfort with another person. They know, like, and they trust you, right? There's a level of comfort, this amount of time spent. Quality time actually is more important than the other gifts when it comes to depth of relationship. If you spend more time with a human being, that human being will feel more connected with you and think of you more often. The more time a person spends with you, the more a person connects. Dunbar's number, right? Who has heard of Dunbar's number? 150 relationships you can have. Well, Robert Dunbar is also known for doing the study on friends, how much time a person has to spend with another person in order to feel that level of friendship. And the number of hours is 80 hours for a person to be considered a friend. The number of hours for somebody to be an acquaintance is 30 hours. Most people are less than 30 hours together, and so most people are strangers. True or true? Now, if you want to get to that love connection, that's 200 hours. 200 hours is where you've got spent so much time with a person that they have now this maximum level of trust with you. And so that is something to strive for. How do you spend more time with other people? Quality time is one of the most valuable assets that there is on the planet. It's also my primary love language. So I'm here with you, and it's wonderful to be here with you. So thank you for the energy and the time, the attention in your success. The fourth one, or the third one, so what we do. We did touch, we did gifts, we did quality time. Let's go into acts of service. Here's something that happens to me sometimes. People will occasionally do a thing for me. I'll be like blown away. I'm like, whoa, like you did that without asking. Darina the other day made me a cup of tea. She just came over and she's like, tea, sat there. And I was like, wow, my throat does hurt. And you made me tea. I love you. It's just like, it just came out of my mouth because I was like, like just instant, right? Because I was blown away. She shocked me. She hit me with something I didn't expect. She did a thing beyond what I didn't ask. I didn't even hint. She just knew my throat was sore because I was sick. And here's what I did with Vinny recently. I went onto Vinny's page. And by the way, watch Vinny Chopra's page. If you go to his Facebook page, watch it change over the next 30 days. I went on and I said, man, like this guy's messing up. He's posting YouTube links. The hell? Like Facebook hates YouTube links. I'm not like shoot. Now Vinny made a mistake. He made a mistake. He gave me access to his Facebook page. So I can control his Facebook page. I can go out, I can make posts. So I went in, I started deleting all the YouTube links. I was like, delete, delete, delete. He's not even paying attention. No likes, no views. I was like, I gotta get rid of all this garbage. It's garbage. And then I started looking at his posts. And I was like, man, like this doesn't tell the story that I know. I know the story behind the scenes because he texted me the story behind the scenes. All I do is post a picture. So I went and I wrote the story, behind the scenes of him and his wife at the glacier. And I was like, this is beautiful, right? They've been married for so many years. And likes started popping up, likes and views. And I made a post, something he said to me the other day. I just made a quote. I just took a quote and I started posting. I was like, here's one. And now I think that post is up to like 7 or 8 shares. It's got 15 hearts, which is, by the way, for his account, extraordinary. And then I just texted him and I was like, hey, bro, the last 3 days I kind of took over your social media. I we can talk about it when you get back from vacation. I hope you don't mind. And I sent screenshots of like the difference. And he was like, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Right. Yeah. Like I would love to learn it. I just do this really quick. And I was like, okay, we're gonna have to stop doing some of this really quick. Maybe we just stop a lot of the posting that's going on, and I think it would actually be better value. The point was that I never asked. I just did a thing for him. I took action, and he was tremendously touched because it was like he's like, this is amazing. Like I've been thinking about this for so long. I just do it quickly, but I really want to do good. Thank you so much. What can we do? So, fans, if you don't have to be asked to do things, you just you see a problem and you fix it. So that's access service, another way to get access to a person. By the way, Vinny is wealth-wise way above me, right? Way above me. He's life-wise, he's way further ahead of me. He's 71 years old. Marriage-wise, way ahead of me, right? His kids are already grown, and his son is already retired, right? How cool is that? His 40-something-year-old son is already retired. So Vinny's nailed a couple of things in life, on all the scales, and he's pretty positive. So if I can give him something, I'm going to, right? If I can find a way to build a relationship, that's a person I really model, and I want to see a lot of what he does in his life. I want to see happen in my life, and I want to see it happen for this community. And the fifth one, the final one, is somebody help me out with it. What is it? It's act of service, law of reciprocity. Sorry, act of service,
Words of
gift giving.
affirmation.
Words of affirmation. My God, Darina's favorites. So this words of affirmation is a gift. Believe it or not, you can acknowledge, notice. I don't want you to by the way, let's give Doug a big round of applause. He's amazing. I don't want you to go around giving people compliments that aren't real. Like I said, I expect nothing from anybody. So when anybody does something, I'm blown away. So that triggers my compliment faculty. So that allows me to constantly be giving compliments that are genuine. You may want to make that one shift of just expect nothing from everybody. And then when they do impress you, be verbal about it, communicate it. When you're looking to raise capital from a person, I'm not saying love bomb people. I think that's stupid. I think that's, unethical, doesn't make sense. Don't like love bomb a person. Just like, oh my God, everything about you is so amazing. That's probably not true. I do believe in pointing out flaws in a human being while I'm there too. Like, hey, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, but I love this about you. That's very honest, right? Be your honest, authentic self. but know that the law of reciprocity is in words. There's a piece that are in words. It is not all words. It is not all gifts. It is not all tangible, not tangible, intangible work done for a person or time spent with a person, but it is one of these for that person. And so if you can create a marketing campaign that gives all of them, right? We Buy Ugly Houses, by the way, was a perfect version of words of affirmations. It's like, you have an ugly house, we like those, right? That's like, in a person's mind who knows their house is ugly, that's like the greatest compliment. It's like, shit, I've got what you're looking for. And that's why that campaign has done so well over the last decade. Show of hands if you've seen those signs. If you see billboards, trust me, they're not cheap. If you see billboards all across the country, that company's doing very, very well. So give freely without any kind of thought on what you're getting back. But understand the type of gift you give, the nature of the gift will dictate the type of people it attracts. Second, create win-win relationships. So I'm sorry. Oh, action step, write down what you can give in each one of those 5 categories. If you didn't do it while I was speaking, please do that as homework today and start implementing it into your business. Those 5 categories are gifts that you can give that shouldn't cost you anything other than the time it takes to think about it and then create the habit to do it. The second one, win-win relationships. When a person wins and they know you're looking to make them win, they feel better about life. When a person wins in a real estate transaction, when they're set looking to just get rid of the stress of their property and they get to walk away with either money or a plan or freedom that they were looking for. And sometimes people don't walk away with money, right? We've done subject to deals where a person walked away with freedom. They just got away from the loan. That was the thing they wanted to get away from. There was no equity. And so sometimes it's just being able to get to where they want to go, or to get away from where they have been. So creating win-win relationships doesn't always mean paying a person. I have an investor right now who's like, I don't want my money back. Like that's his thought. He's like, I don't want my money back, and I don't want it to come back in the form of interest. I want my money to sit there because I have too much income. He's like, my income is way too damn high. I need it to sit out there. I need it to just, be, and I don't want anything coming back this year. And he said, and I know my next 2 years are going to be really big sales because I'm selling some companies and I need that income to just kind of stay out there. But he's like, I also require that you lose money. He's like, I can't put this on deals that don't lose money. I need this to be in deals that are the money is like all spent because he needs the loss. Show of hands if that sounds crazy to some people. If you tell this to somebody else, you're like, what is wrong with that person? Right? Not everybody thinks the same way, but you have to listen to the partners that you're working with, your friends. You have to listen to their goals, their objectives, and see if you can come up with a win-win solution, a win-win scenario. I can't put his money on the deals, on all the deals that I'm doing, right? Some of the deals I'm doing don't have those massive losses on them. Some of the deals I'm doing now, I'm doing because of friends like him who are like, hey, I need something that has a loss on it. So create win-win relationships. Always seek to do that for people who have knowledge, who have assets, who have resources or connections. I think any one of those is valuable enough. The collaboration, the growth that comes from creating win-win scenarios for your friends is really cool. By the way, if your friends are not rich, you will not be rich. It's that simple. So I'm not going to tell you today, get rid of all your broke friends. I'm just going to tell you to go find some really rich friends. Like find some really rich people and then be friends with them and make them richer. Make them richer, make them happier, make them healthier. But find new people that you can constantly be leveling up. If you're in sales, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, hey, I just need to, expand my network of high net worth friends so that I can help them. You will become the average of your 5 closest friends. I can't stop that. Nothing in the world can stop that. I did it with Dorina the other day, and we calculated it out, and she was like, "What the f? This person's bringing my money down." Like, yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. I'm not saying that in a mean way. That's just the math is like you spend a lot of time with that person, and that's why your income is here. Show of hands if you haven't done that in a while. You haven't gone and looked at your friends and their incomes. Show of hands if you don't even know what all 5 friends' income is. You got to go do some research. Awesome. Oh, write that down. Write that down. So win-win scenario, create win-win relationships with your friends, and make sure that everybody's winning. Number 3, build trust and credibility. Constantly giving delivers value. Delivering value and constantly giving builds trust and credibility with your network. The more you give, the more trust and credibility you're going to be getting. If you can give in a space that allows you to have more to give, like if you can always feel like there's more behind the scenes, more behind the curtain, then people will be naturally attracted to you. because they know that you're a source that isn't running out. People don't like to take somebody's last thing. Show of hands if you ever felt that guilt at the table. You've been at the table and it's like there's that last. Uh, I love what are they called? Crab rangoons. So I love crab rangoons, and you just they're like that thing where like in the beginning it's like everybody gets one, let's have fun, and then when it's the last one, it's like, well, do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Are you sure? Are you sure? Fine, we'll fucking split it. Okay. We'll do that. Because nobody wants to be the one who takes the last one. But if the crabber and goons kept coming, I'd be like, abundance, feast, my friends. Everybody enjoy. There'd be no awkward conversation around. Do you want it? Do you want it? Sure, we'll split it. Oh, three ways? Fine. We can split it three ways. It's just abundance. And so when we are able to build that trust and credibility that there's more coming, that I'm going to keep giving no matter what, I'll keep giving, no matter what, I'm going to keep reducing, then it makes it a lot easier for a person to take a little bit, to get deeper involved in the relationship. But if they feel like you're running out and you're giving them your last piece, yeah, they appreciate it, but they also will never come back again because nobody wants to be that person who took the last piece. No offense if that makes sense. Very important part of the law. All right, so add value, be authentic and genuine, and follow through with commitments. Follow through with everything you say you're going to do. The biggest flaw that I've seen people in the world of giving is not doing the thing they say they'll do. Right? When we take on a project, I close on my projects. When I take on a person's money, I pay them what I say I'm going to pay them. If I take on the responsibility of bringing on a team and coaching a person, we bring them through until successful, until the point of success. I was talking to a person last night. Actually, I was talking to Jamie yesterday. I was like, yeah, when you come into the mastermind, you're less valuable to me in the beginning. I'm kind of taking a gamble on you. You're paying me, I'm taking a gamble on you. But then I didn't say it exactly like this, did I, Jamie? I said it differently. But the point is, at the end of a year or 2 or 3 years, you've become more valuable than you were at the beginning because now you've got stories, now you've done things, now you own real estate, now you're a knowledgeable mentor. And a lot of coaching programs make the mistake of charging their mastermind members years into it. Whereas I'm looking at those mastermind members as my partners now. Like they got to go and build millionaires, right? They're now mentoring people. Like they're paying it forward. They're giving back. And so one of the things that I'm looking at this year is starting to implement this idea of anybody who's been through our mastermind program. I want them back in the mastermind program, but we're not going to charge because they're mastermind members. They're valuable people. Most of them are millionaires now. We have 30 millionaires who I want to bring back into our mastermind for free. And the reason I want to do this is because I want everybody who's new in the mastermind to have access to my millionaires, to have access to my authorities, the people who've been doing the deals. Right? Show of hands if you understand that's tremendous value to everybody because the millionaires, they want deals, they want people who are going to do work for them. And for the newer folks, they need that extra coaching. They need people in their market. They need people who have ideas about what's going on. So, one, Jamie's signing up to join the mastermind. So let's give him a big round of applause. He's coming in with us. Mastermind is my secret sauce. Actually, before I go into Mastermind, let me tell you about how our local events are working. We've got our sponsors now. We've got our trusted team. They're using the law of reciprocity to build their businesses. The realtors, the mortgage brokers, the attorneys, the lenders, the financial planners, they're passing relationships along, leads along, and they're building millionaires through this process. They're actually taking a person who shows up to one of our free events. By the way, my events are free. Let's give Alchemist Nation a big round of applause for free events, right? So one, the event is free. They're coming in, they get their millionaire path for free. They get to go to I Build Millionaires. They get to go to 50 Weeks of Wealth for free. And they're getting access to these coaches for free. They're getting access to the realtor, to the mortgage broker, the attorney, the lender, the financial planner, the coach. They're getting access to these folks for free to be able to walk through this millionaire building process. And now the one rule we have is you must buy real estate. That's my only rule. We'll do all of this free stuff for you as long as you buy real estate, as long as you build your wealth, as long as you help others do the same, as long as you're interested in growing your business and growing your investment career. We'll work for free and we'll give and give and give because as long as you're buying and building businesses, we're making money, right? We have ways to make money with transactions that are done. But if you're not making money, we're not making money. Show of hands if you understand the law of reciprocity is good for everybody. So if you're wondering, how do I become a millionaire? The secret is this simple: buy real estate. That is our simple solution. And if you're having a hard time buying real estate, use one of our trusted teams. Join one of our local groups, come to the local group, show up every single month, come to the 52 Weeks to Wealth, learn the principles, and then start doing the stuff. And if you're struggling and you need some help, join the mastermind. If you are not completely broke, right, you have a little bit of money set aside and or a credit card, then join the mastermind. If you are absolutely struggling, please keep using the free shit. Use the free stuff until you get there. Go to the free courses, go to the free trainings. This 52 weeks to wealth, I've been told, is over a $10,000 value, and I intend to keep pumping that number up. I want to keep making sure that everybody who comes here is able to double their income, double their net worth every single year. That's something that I have done, and I want you to continue to be able to do it. The secret to it is buying more real estate, bigger real estate every year, more cash flow, more net worth. Show of hands if you can do this. Hell yeah. Excellent. So then your action step this week is to decide what free thing you're going to give infinitely. What free thing you will give at a super high level. For me, I have a lot of free things I give out. For one, if you have been in Alchemist Nation and you want to tease the mastermind, you want to come in and see what it is for one night, send a message to Darina and she'll bring you into the mastermind for one night. If you've never been in before, it's Monday night at 8 o'clock. And for everybody who's been through our teas of the mastermind, you know what that's like. You get in and you're like, okay, I need to be a part of this. That's not my fault. If that's the feeling you have after you come for one night, then you're welcome to join us, as long as you and I jump on a call and I still feel like we can add value. If you and I jump on a call and I can't add value in the mastermind, then I'm going to tell you that. And I'll tell you that the only reason you joined or wanted to join was because of the cool people in the room, which I totally get that. I understand that everybody in the mastermind is super cool. By the way, let's give our mastermind members a big round of applause. They are badass. They're definitely the coolest. And the groups that we're doing now inside the local communities, our teams are starting to mastermind. They're masterminding around your success. So if you're part of a local group, a local community in Alchemist Nation, secretly, if you've checked into our events, our team is masterminding how they can make you a millionaire. I just want to cautiously let you know we talk about you behind your back. I just want to cautiously let you be aware that behind your back, we're thinking about you. We're focused on you. We're literally talking about what you've done and where you're going, what your goals are, and who's going to call you and who's going to help you get to that next level. So we're a very dangerous community if you want to be left alone. If you're if you're not looking for that support and teamwork to get to the next level, then I would strongly suggest avoiding any Alchemist Station live events. But if you are a kind of person who says, man, I haven't gotten rich alone, I haven't gotten rich by myself, I haven't figured this thing out, or I know I'm going to be rich anyway, and I just want a little extra support, speed up the process, then the live events are where it's at. Our local leaders are all committed to your success. They're looking at the people who come to the room, they're talking to you, they're committing to appointments with you, and they're lining people up to build a deeper relationship to get, by the way, your wealth is not just about the money. They want to get your financial freedom. They want your time back. They want your family taken care of. They want that legacy wealth. I got a little one on the way, and this little guy is, to me, the luckiest guy on the planet because he's got all of you. Got 1,000 aunts and uncles who, if he ever needs to go learn a lesson, I'm be like, okay, like go talk to Uncle Mitch. It's time for you to go. You want to learn subject too? I'm gonna send you up to Pennsylvania. You want to hang out with Uncle Larry, Uncle Steinhaus for a little while. I just warn him in advance. He's a little gruffer than you might be used to, but this this idea of it takes a community to build a child. I think it takes a community to build a millionaire. I genuinely do. I think it takes a lot of people to build a person's wealth. And if we're all doing it together, then it really does work well. So let's give every one of our leaders and our mastermind members a big round of applause for all the work you do behind the scenes. Talking about people behind their backs is nuts. So every week we have a book of the week. This book of the week, I wish Mike Shine was on here because he actually knows Bob Berg personally. Bob is a friend of mine as well. He's been on my podcast, and he is just an amazing, abundant person. But since Michael Shine is in here, I'm going to give it to Mitch Jorsky, who's also read the book of the week. Mitch, the Scaredy Cat Guide to Real Estate Investing. He is the king of calculators, one of my partners on a deal we're doing in Mississippi. Let's give Mitch Jorsky a big round of applause. Mitch, what is this week's book of the week?
I'm assuming it's Go Giver.
You nailed it. It is The Go-Giver by Bob Berg.
Wait, the good news is I've had multiple people tell me that I'm a go giver, which is pretty cool that I'm embodying that because, full disclosure, haven't read that book.
In that
So
case, I'll be getting a new person to do the book of the week.
you can get
Billy
someone else to
Reuter
do it,
is going
or
to
I
do it.
could apparently just share who I am because apparently I'm a go giver. So
It makes
hashtag
sense.
winning.
So I'll give a quick example before we shift over to Billy, and then we're gonna do the hypnosis with Doug. Mitch, when I went to 10X, Mitch is way taller than me, but we were both wearing Alchemist Station shirts with QR codes on our backs. And Mitch was like, everybody could see him. Everybody's like scanning his shirt. And we were like, what is this Alchemist Station thing? I got to talk to you. And then Mitch would be like, you want to get into real estate? You're looking to buy real estate? Oh, okay. Like, let me introduce you to Gwalter. And I had a swarm, like Mitch was walking in front of me, and then like he just like shuffled people back to me wherever he was walking around the room. And I just had this nice little circle of people around me because Mitch was out there just being like, hey, let me introduce you to Gwalter. Let me introduce you to Gwalter. So he is the king of reciprocity. Like I tell everybody, like if I'm gonna go networking, I call Mitch. I'm like, hey, got an event coming. You want to go? Let's give Mitch Dorsey a round of applause. Amazing, amazing, amazing proof of concept. Billy Reuter, what is this week's book of the week?
What's up, everyone? Um, I'm so honored for this opportunity because the Go Giver for me, and I think what I'm about to share will speak to a lot of you. As leaders, as entrepreneurs, like Walter was saying, we sometimes give freely anyway, right? We're always the givers, we're the solution providers. But what was an aha moment for me, and I think this might resonate with a lot of you, was when I first read it. I read it and I was going through chapters. And like most of you, I was like, oh, I already know this. I'm already a go giver, like Mitch said. I already give lovingly and freely. But what knocked me on my ass was the chapter when, and I'm going to paraphrase here, when Bob Berg says, how good does it feel to give? How good does it feel to just serve others? And in my brain, I'm like, freaking amazing. This is why I'm alive, right? If we don't learn how to receive, you are robbing others of that gift. So for me, it freaking revolutionized everything. I was running a bunch of businesses back then. I made the Go Giver mandatory reading for all of my staff. I've bought 60, 70 copies to clients, to students, and not just so you're a better giver. Believe it or not, the secret here is becoming a really good receiver, because I'm sure like you, as entrepreneurs, I was always the guy that would pay the bill at dinner. I was always the guy like, no, no, you don't have to pay for me. Don't do anything for me. I'm the guy. But like I'm robbing so many people of the joy and the gift of giving. Um, it's a beautiful segue because learning how to be a go-giver, like Mitch said, we're all go-givers, but we can amplify that, right? So in a synopsis, it's giving without the need of something getting back to you. Give to give, serve to serve. Gwalter and I, our relationship started that way, right? Just helping out and starting, and 6 months later, I'm on this awesome man stage and I get to meet all of you. This experience came from a go-giver mentality, which also I know we're doing go-giver, but Wallace Waddle's book, Science of Getting Rich, Leave Others with Increase, has the same kind of philosophy and energy to it. So if you just meet people and just have that intention, like, I'm just going to serve you and wow you. There's no limit, there's no budget, like just bullshit, right? Just show up as your best self, give everything you've got to every single relationship, and be open to receiving the gift of others giving to you. I love you all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Let's give Billy Rauter one more big round of applause. I absolutely love that he mentioned that story of giving. Yeah, when I met Billy, it was actually Dorina messaged Billy and said, "Hey, man, we need somebody to be a coach out in Daytona." She said, "We need somebody to speak at the event. Let's host our event. Can you like do that?" And Billy said, "Yeah." And then it's been over a year now. He's been volunteering, building up that event and growing it. So the Daytona presence is because Billy said yes to an opportunity, but he was saying yes, he was giving when we needed. Like we had the event created and we didn't have a host. And we said, man, like, would you take over? He came out to be a speaker, and then we were like, can you just take over and run this? And he has ever since. So one more time, let's give Billy a round of applause. And because Doug McGurk is the king of relationships, like if I were to put this group of superstars of or connectors in my life. I would say there's Doug McGurk and there's Mitch Jorsky, and these guys have connected me with just about anybody I've ever wanted. Like they just have this, they just have given me people. There's another one, Ken Walls, who really connected me with a lot of people. Bob Berg, Steve Sims, Mark Victor Hansen. These connections that I wouldn't have had if it wasn't for those relationships. And then later on, I found out that Doug had all those same connections, and it's really interesting when I can in like three people, I can say all of the most powerful relationships that I could ever want, they have access to them. And I could just those three people, I could just be like, hey, by the way, I'm looking for this person. Do you know somebody? And they would probably have a yes in the personal development in the real estate space. And more recently, I connected with one other person, and his name is Spangler. Justin Spangler. And Justin Spangler was on Zombie House Flipping here in Florida. So the show Zombie House Flipping, he knows everybody in the guru space. Like all the guys, you name them, he knows them. Like Pace Morby, like all those guys. He's like personal, actual friends with them because of what he did on that show. And I'm just thinking about like, wow, like these guys are so like, yeah, sure, I'll make that connection. Yeah, of course. You want to meet them? Yeah, of course I could do that. It's like this go-giver mentality. It doesn't stop no matter where you go. That being said, Doug McGurk is one of those people who's been preaching go-giver for a very long time. He's personal friends with Bob Berg as well. And he's trained with Tony Robbins. Then he started coaching for Tony Robbins for 3 years, traveling across the country, speaking, teaching people the 6 human needs, helping people break free from their trap, break free into the mindset of abundance, and getting out of all the sticky things that were inside their heads. Doug, we call him the Maximizer McGurk. Speaks at our 100 Millionaire Summit. He's known for a talk that he calls Dickens that he learned from Tony, and he takes you through the past, moves you into the present and into the future, and helps you make really hard decisions that were trapping you in the past without even ever looking at them. By the way, show fans, if you've ever had things trap you, you didn't even know they were there. Prisons, cells that were just around you, kind of like the Matrix. So Doug is here to maximize our results and get us outside of that through something we call guided meditation. Show fans, if you've ever been through guided meditation before, so you understand your eyes probably closed. So if you are driving, I want you to keep your eyes open. And if you are like feeling you're going to miss out on something, this is recorded. It is live streamed. It's recorded. So you can always come back and watch this over and over. If you find that these sessions are really valuable to you, I don't have them cut up and put out as individual content, but I will tell you every single week, I think I should. Show of fans if you probably agree. Yeah. I also feel guilty about not doing it. So every single week, I think I should, and I haven't. So here's what I'll tell you. They're usually around 30 minutes to 45 minutes is when they usually start. So every single week for the past multiple weeks, Doug has done this for us. So if there's one that you thought was really, really good, please let us know. Maybe we'll go back and try to grab that content for you. That being said, Doug McGurk is here to help. He's here to serve and take you to the next level. Doug's going to teach you in this next guided meditation to release some of the challenges you have around giving. If you felt foolish doing it, or if you haven't given enough, or you don't even know what to give or what your value is, this is for you. Just pay attention. Just experience. If you're in a place where there are distractions, now's a good time to remove those distractions. If you need to close a door, if you're in a place that wouldn't be supportive to you during this process, then take notes and come back to it later, or do yourself a favor and just walk into the next room, or put headphones on. But this is for you, and it's very personal. So if you feel you turn the camera off for a little while, that's okay too. That being said, let's give Doug McGurk, the Maximizer, a big round of applause.
Well, all right. Thank you so much, Walter, and everyone here, Big Hand, for showing up. Thanks for Billy jumping in on the Go Giver review. Love it, love it. You guys are just look at that little reverb. Blessed. Hey, just real quickly, one of the things that you may or may not have gotten from what Walter had shared when he started sharing about the law of reciprocity and acts of service, what you may or may not have picked up on is another gift, or well, it is an act of service and it is a gift. It is sharing a resource of a contact. When you meet somebody, one of the easiest things to do to build a relationship is find out who their ideal referral is, who are they looking for, and then introduce them. And that goes so far, that because they go, oh my gosh, like you've basically given me one of the most warmest gifts ever, a warm lead, a warm prospect, an introduction. So one of the things that we forget is what we have the most assets are our relationships. So we can use those as some of our gifts as well. Just some food for thought. Would you think of that for a moment? So with that, oh, and I'm sorry. Is it all right if I just have another quick thought? Something Billy brought up as well. Think about like someone you care about, and it's their birthday, it's their something, and they told you, something that they would like. Maybe they said it in passing, or maybe they actually said, it would be really awesome, if you could just take a moment and write me like make me a card. It doesn't cost you anything. Make me a card, a heartfelt card, and all that. Like, tell me how you really feel, and then you go and do that, and then you hand it to them, and then like, whatever, thanks. Would you want to do that again? No. So what we want to do is also what Billy and Walter were sharing is be able to receive graciously and be grateful for that. Don't take the gift away from someone of giving you something. Truly like receive it and appreciate it from that space, not the, oh, I feel weird. Like, why are you giving me something? I don't want to be that person in need. It's not about that. It's about the opportunity to let them know that you value them and what they have to offer. Just, again, food for thought. Anyway, with that being said, why don't you go ahead and let's see if the music works this time. There we go. Well, all right. Why don't you go ahead and take a nice, big, deep cleansing breath in. And relax. That's right. And go ahead and take another big, deep cleansing breath in and roll your eyes up to the back of your head till you feel a little strain. That's right. And relax. Relaxing your mind. Allowing any thoughts or stresses to fall away. We've had so many learnings about giving, haven't we? Give yourself the gift of presence as you allow your other than conscious mind to relax even more. And with every breath you take in, allow your body to fall into an even deeper state of relaxation. And I wonder if you can imagine you're walking through a lush, verdant forest where the air whispers of ancient wisdom. And every leaf and stone is alive with energy of giving and receiving. And isn't that amazing how we can witness the natural energy of giving and receiving? In this forest is a living embodiment of the law of reciprocity. A sacred space where each gesture of giving sparks a wave of receiving. Where every act of kindness is mirrored by the universe in countless and often unexpected ways. So I wonder if you could connect right now even more to God or your higher power, divine intelligence, or universal principle, and repeat these affirmations in your head, or allowing them to anchor even more deeply into your other than conscious. With every act of giving, I open the door to receive. I am a generous giver and a gracious receiver. The more I contribute to the world, the more I receive in abundance. My generosity returns to me tenfold, or 10x. I trust in the law of reciprocity to enrich my life in every aspect. And now, as you hear these questions, these affirmations, give yourself the gift of answering them wholeheartedly. Why does giving feel as rewarding as receiving? How does my generosity create waves of abundance in my life? What makes me so open to both giving and receiving love and prosperity? Why do I find such joy in the cycle of giving and receiving? How does the law of reciprocity work so effortlessly in my favor and with everyone else? And as you meander through the forest, you come across a clear, flowing stream. The water, crystal clear and vibrant, flows endlessly, taking and giving without hesitation. And it's a perfect metaphor for your life's journey, isn't it? Your journey with the law of reciprocity. Each droplet of water that evaporates and feeds the clouds will return as rain, nourishing the forest once more. It's a cycle of endless giving and receiving, a balance that sustains all life within the forest, within communities, within the universe, and beyond. So as we bring this session to a close, I wonder if you can embrace the flow of giving and receiving while you let the joy of generosity fill your heart. Because you do trust in the abundance that comes from giving. And you see the beauty in the cycle of reciprocity that surrounds you. And as you make your way back, allowing your eyes to reopen, to become present in this moment, knowing that all you need is within you now.
That was really good. Let's give Doug McGurk a round of applause. Those sessions, I do think if they were all chopped up and on a playlist, I would probably listen to that in the middle of my night or right before bed, and I'd wake up 10 times more successful. So if there is somebody who wants to do that project, send us an email at events@alchemystation.com, and maybe that's something we can have somebody figure out how to do. But let's give Doug one more big round of applause for every week bringing his heat, getting into our minds, and just helping us take these principles in a little bit easier. That is what we call accelerated learning, by the way. When you don't just learn a way, remember earlier we wrote some things down, we took some action steps, we decided what we were going to do. We also received lessons and through story, and then by implementing it into our minds in this manner using guided meditation, it goes a lot deeper. So the way we operate here is it may take an hour, it may take 30 minutes for us to get through this process, but it's a very efficient way of learning. You're learning weeks worth of knowledge in a single hour. So give yourselves a round of applause for choosing the right system for getting yourself to that next level. That being said, this is my favorite part of the day, Q&A, questions and answers. If you are new to the program, you're going to unmute the microphones. The first person to unmute gets to ask a question. There is no raising hands. There is no waiting for your turn. It is just unmute, ask the question, and we dive right in. Show of hands, we understand the instructions. And I'll tell you what I told Jamie yesterday when we were talking about the mastermind. He's like, well, what kind of expectations do you have from me? And I was like, one, you need to buy real estate. You cannot be in the mastermind, not buy real estate. You have to. It's necessary. Otherwise, we would not have a reputation and that would be good. And then two, I was like, you have to ask questions, right? If you don't ask questions, it means you're not doing anything. That's a sign that you're not taking action. So that scares the shit out of me. So I needed to go take action so you can have really good questions. And Jamie was like, okay, that makes sense. I get that. Like he understood probably even before I explained it, but I have to explain because of that one person who doesn't get it. Show of hands if you understand they're out there. Awesome. So that being said, first to unmute wins. Let's unmute the microphones and get some questions so that we can share. This is live stream, so if you're concerned that your question is stupid, don't think about it. Just say it. Don't think about it too much. That's analysis paralysis. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask, so then you end up with a life of failure. So ask the questions, get them out. By the way, everybody has the same questions, so the faster you ask yours, the more entertaining this whole game gets. First unmute wins, or I'll just call somebody. Medina, you haven't talked in a while, so you're up.
Hey,
Okay.
good morning, everyone.
Well,
Good morning.
I missed you guys for like 2 weeks. Hey, Nadina.
hi. I got the
Okay.
wrong name, sorry.
Yeah. So I have a lot going on right now. So I have a lot of questions. Like I recently became a notary signing agent. I'm a realtor. And I also have my business where I make skincare and soap and candles. So my biggest issue was now is how to actually conduct all three. So I was thinking about maybe combining the notary in the real estate. I currently have an LLC for my business. So I don't know. So what would be the best way to go about having those three entities, not losing their individuality, but still being able to maintain them without like overstretching myself, I should say.
All right, you have three hobbies, and now
Yeah.
find a business.
Yes.
So which business do you want? Because you have three hobbies.
So the main one I want to focus on is my actual business, which is making the skincare products and the soaps.
Great. All right, here you go. Beautiful. So what are you doing to promote your skin product and soap?
I have a website, and I currently am on Facebook and Instagram.
Great. So I mean, it's good that you should do that, but you should do so much more. So much more. If you want to make this your life, right? So even your name, right? Medina Jones, put next to it, put your website so people know who you are. You want to talk about it constantly. You're on the wrong, and I'm going to tell you, you're on the wrong Zoom. And I don't mean you shouldn't be on the Zoom. You should, but you're on the wrong Zoom. You should be on Zooms with people who have small businesses like yours discussing how to make your small business a big business. You should be going to trade shows. How many trade shows did you do?
I haven't done any recently.
Okay. So when you're ready to make your business, I'm sorry, you're ready to make your hobby a business, these are the things you're going to do. I wish you luck. I think it'd be awesome. You know, especially skincare products. Nobody else has any. So you have no competition. I'm kidding. But the
Medina,
reality is you have to you have to stand out there and you have to be number one. Brag about why your skin products are the best. Why, give me one reason your skin products are the best.
All organic. It's all natural, all organic.
Are you talking? I can't.
she said all natural, all
All
organic.
natural, all organic.
I think your mic cut out, or my
Can
headphone
you hear
cut
me?
out.
Might be your
Walter, can
headphones,
you hear
brother.
me?
I think my headphone cut out.
Yep,
Are
we
you
hear you,
there?
Medina.
Yeah, I'm here.
I can't
You
hear
hear
it.
me
Is something
now?
going on? You
We're
guys hear?
Yes.
we're all
I
saying
think my
stuff.
headphone cut out.
We hear you, Larry, but it's your
Oh,
headphones,
well.
brother.
Another quick one, Medina. Are
Medina.
you doing stuff at fresh markets, like the weekend markets and those fairs and those kind of stuff, where the local people, because that's how you build your, kind of your brand, your following, you get your testimonials, you get people loving on you, and then you can build a relationship face to face with people at the markets.
So the farmers market that is here in my town, they already have vendors that they work with that are doing what I do. So I haven't looked out. So I'm in Canton, that's right outside the city of Boston. So I haven't looked at the other towns, the surrounding towns in the area, but that's something that I definitely will be looking into.
Yeah, I would do that. Mitch and I have a friend down here who does barbecue sauce, and he had the same issue. So he just went outside some of the surrounding towns, and now he's crushing it. He also has gone to local stores and is now selling them in locally owned stores. So that's another thing to look at. There's those little, shops, the places that are locally owned, that carry locally owned. As a matter of fact, my box where I use the UPS store, they have maybe 10 different local products in there. They have candles, they have crafts, they have, little cards and stuff. So like if you think outside the box and find little local businesses, also local hair salons, that kind of stuff, people who are, they're taking care of their, their bodies and their faces and, and I mean, their hair and all that, that would also be another place that you could build a relationship because they're already in that mindset.
Right.
Yeah, Medina, I'm gonna go to the next level and
Hey.
say you probably need a coach. I think
I
that's
do. I
yeah,
need a coach. I do need a mentor. I work with Billy. Billy is
perfect.
amazing.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm gonna say then.
But yes, if I can get someone that's local, that's here. I mean, even not necessarily local. We can do, we meet up by Zoom or whatever, but I definitely need someone to like show me and educate me, because although I've been doing this whole marketing and advertising, it's new. But I need it, I need it, of course, in being a real estate agent. I need it in promoting my brand, either way. So I just need to get those tools
That's
under
where the
my belt.
mistake comes
Yep.
back in. One business, you get one business to be successful in, and Billy is a wonderful coach. I think here's a challenge I've had with coaches and mentors and masterminds. People don't know the difference, right? So a mentor and a coach are different, and a mastermind is for different purposes. I believe everybody needs three coaches. At some point in your life, you need three coaches to level you up: health, wealth, and relationships, right? So three separate things you're looking to coach yourself on. Then you need two mentors: a local mentor and an external mentor, a mentor outside of your market and a mentor who's in your market. Because local mentors know the local economy, but they're never going to give you their marketing tactics, right? But an external mentor doesn't know your local market, but they will give you all of the strategies to find marketing and get access to what you're looking for. And then the mastermind is people who are symbiotic relationships, who have the same client, but don't compete with each other. For example, a mortgage broker and a realtor make great masterminds because they don't compete, but they want the same client to do the same exact sort of thing. So you need all three of those components. A coach and a mentor are very different. A coach can get you what you want. You must be specific about what you're looking to accomplish. So if you go to a coach, you're like, hey, I got these three businesses, I want to blow them all up. that's going to make a coach build 3 different maps, and you're going to end up very, very low energy. If you go to a coach, say, hey, I just want to build this one business. This one business is going to the moon. I'm going to go there with it. This is the one that's going to launch me. Then that coach can build a plan that's really efficient. So we as the individual can mess up. Like, it's not the coach. It's literally us going in with clarity about what we truly genuinely want and then sticking to that. So if you're working with Billy, then I'd suggest he has a deeper one-on-one program that is probably exactly where you belong, just because of the nature of what you're looking to accomplish. And that's something to look at, right? And I say this to everybody: choose people you vibe with, talk to people, test coaches, like work with a whole lot of people. But if you're already working with somebody, ask them for what you're really looking to accomplish and eliminate some of these distractions. I would not worry about the realtor thing. I know you spent money on it, got it, but so
Yeah.
what, is what it
Yeah.
is. Same with the notary thing.
Yeah.
If you're, here's the deal. Are the soaps making money?
Yeah.
Can you live off of the soaps?
No, they make money, but I can't live off of them.
What are you doing that you can live off of?
I'm on this. Can you repeat that one more time? My daughter was asking me a question.
What do you live off of? Do you have money that comes in that you can live off of?
I have my I was doing my 9 to 5. I recently resigned from that and I got a nice package. So I've been working with that. It's been about a month now.
Okay, you
How
need
long
to
will that
bust your
package last you?
ass. What is it, Larry?
What was that, Larry?
How long will that package last you?
It can last me through the year.
Through the year? Okay, so I got 2 pieces of advice for you. Get your ass moving right now, or
Yeah.
get a job tomorrow and use that as bonus money. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, pick one or the other. You have no more time to make one of those decisions.
Right.
I'm gonna back up Larry 100%. And this goes to every person who's ever like, okay, I got money for a year, I got money for 6 months. I'll see how this goes. There is no see how this goes. Sell it. Sell your ass off. Get that thing. Like, if you're selling soap, but then you need to go make $1,000 this week of profit. Like
Yeah.
$1,000 this week of profit. You need to prove that you can profit $1,000 with that soap, which means you're picking up the phone, you're calling people who buy $1,000 worth of soap, which means you're not buying your aunt or your uncle, you're buying the person who owns the store that can sell soap, right? Hyper buyers. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's give Medina a round of applause. Go ahead, Gary.
Thanks.
I was just going to point out, Medina, I went to your Facebook page and I see that you're a wedding officiant. I see that you're a realtor. I see that you're a mobile DNA collector. I see that you're a notary
Yes.
public. You know what I don't see on
Stop
there?
it.
That's that.
Soap. There's nothing on
Yeah.
there. The one
Yeah.
thing that you say you
Yeah.
want to do and it's not there. And let me
Yeah.
challenge you. If you want to do this, if that's really what you want to do, you need to be known as the person who does all those fantastic organic soaps, Medina Jones, and your name becomes synonymous with great skincare products.
Right.
And you can't do that when you've got 15 other things that you're working on.
Right.
The one thing, and you need to concentrate on that. And that's what you're going to be successful at.
Yes.
And I'll tell you one more time. I said it, but I don't think I got heard. Your client is not the person who buys soap. Your client is the person who buys a lot of soap.
Yeah.
It's not the one who buys one soap. You're not going to the consumer. You have to go to the person who buys a lot of soap, the hyper buyer. It's the only way for you to make any money in a business like this. Unless your soap is $50 a bar, in which case go to the consumer.
Yeah. Not
Or you put them on auto ship and you go to the consumer and you got other people selling it. Maybe you do an affiliate or a multi-level marketing.
affiliate
But you've
marketing.
got it.
You just
gotta get
nailed it
out there
again,
now.
Larry. That's somebody else selling it. That's a hyper buyer. That's
Yeah, of
somebody
course.
who's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what we charge you, please. Thank
Um,
you.
I just want to say one thing to Medina that I'm the person who buys organic soaps. And I want to tell you, I buy my organic soap from a store. They always have these soaps in the store, these organic soaps. And it's like a Mediterranean restaurant and supermarket, and they sell
Ask me.
handmade organic soaps.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be the person who everyone is looking at as, will buy. So when I buy a lot, but I wouldn't say that I'll buy 5, 6, or 7 at a time. So I'm just telling you that there's a market for it, but you just have to find the right place. And you have to be the person the go-to person
Yes,
for the soaps.
definitely.
All right. So I don't want to make this whole call about soap, but I got a strange story I thought I'd never tell this community. It's like super strange and super weird. And it's about soap. So Dorina went out to a bachelorette party or something with her friends, and her friend got into organic soaps. And Dorina comes back. She comes back home with soap. Now, the soap isn't shaped normal. It's not a normal shaped soap. It's a soap that has a very unique shape to it. And it's a soap that's so uniquely shaped and so custom, one of a kind, that I refuse to use the soap. And so this soap has lasted longer than any other soap ever in the history of soap in my house. And it sits in my shower, and every day I'm washing, I'm like, that son of a bitch soap is still there. That is to me the greatest gift to give anybody because it would haunt them for life. And this soap is shaped as a phallus. And I think most of you already figured it out. But here's the deal. This soap literally messes me up. I'm like, holy shit. Every time I see the soap, I think of the person who gave it to her. I'm like, what the F were they thinking? But I'm like, they're storing memory in my head because they created a product so controversial. They created the Larry Steinhouse of soap. It's so controversial. I can't stop thinking about
Did
it.
he just call me what he called me?
So that is Medina, just an option. Like I would probably spend $50 on a soap that had that shape to send it to Gary Aker, just so he had it in his house and knew and knew the suffering. I would certainly spend some money to mess up some of my friends' moments and be like, what is this? It's like useful, but I can't use it. So but that's a story that I like told Dorina many times. I'm like, I can't tell anybody this, and yet it's such a big part of my life now. The experience of ignoring this thing. So, uh, Medina, I love that you're in business, and I think it's really good to laugh at some of the stuff we're talking about. I think it's we as real estate investors forget. Show of hands if you own a business outside your real estate, by the way. I think every one of us does. Every one of us owns a business, right? So, Medina, we're real estate investors because of our business, right? We know our business could one day die. We know our business could one day not be there. So, we all have an operating company that we operate. We make a lot of money off of, whether we're agents or realtors or investors or insurance people or flippers or contractors. So, like, we all have these businesses. And then on the side, in fact, Andrew, wait, where's Roger Andrews? I don't know if he's still on here. Roger Andrews is an artist, right? He draws and he sells his art to companies like Hasbro and stuff who use his art for toys. And like he's made a lot of money there. He's very successful there, but he owns over 100 units, right? Because he wants to have financial freedom, have passive income. So as an entrepreneur, you're on this call. We're all business owners. That's why you're getting all this advice from business owners who've made the mistakes, run multiple businesses before. We all have our businesses running. Melanie owns 9 subways. Billy owned 5 gyms. Gary does his lending practice and his real estate investing, and he runs a whole bunch of events. Larry Stanos owns an ice cream shop. He owns an ice cream parlor, and he does his flips and he does his rental properties. Dina does real estate agent as an agent. She's a wholesaler and a real estate investor. Dorina runs a live events, large live events. She runs the 100 Millionaire Summit for us every year. She owns oil. She owns real estate. She owns access to pieces of businesses. So we're all kind of broad spectrum all over the place. So let's give Medina a round of applause.
Hey, Medina, I just want to mention for you real quick, what you're hearing here is a lot about proper marketing. And if you want to learn those principles really quick, I suggest that you go over to challenge.alchemistnation.com, get on that the 21-day recession-proof challenge. It's a college course in marketing using social media and the different methods of marketing yourself and getting your brand down and getting your messaging proper. And it'll really help you. It's $100, but once you go through it once, you can go through it multiple times, and it'll give you the principles. It's not going to coach. We're not there. You still are going to need a coach to help you implement this, but it's going to give you the principles and teach you what we're all talking about.
Also, Billy Reuter's in it, so he's in there with us. Awesome. Other questions? I'll stick around for 9 more minutes. And I know some of the millionaires will probably stick around because they love answering your questions. By the way, let's give all of our millionaires a round of applause. All the time they dedicate to this community, answering questions in forums, on Facebook, on Mighty Networks. Go ahead, Dorina.
I do have a question. It's a great principle. And the question is kind of like the challenge for anybody on the call from your own experience. So how do you actually like strike a balance between genuinely helping and genuinely giving, avoiding a feeling of like manipulation? Because we sometimes as agents, right? Show houses for free. We always like give advice, and then we have a lot of one-on-one calls that we're doing our best to help. And then when do you see that fine line between just running yourself into the wall of constantly giving and not seeing a return? Eventually, your jar gets really low.
I love that question. Yeah, Billy, go ahead.
Thank
Dorina,
you.
that's a gorgeous question. And if I really hope I can add some value here. I'll start with a phrase, right? You can't live with intention if you don't pay attention, right? So consistently reflecting and your energy and your assessment. I know that sounds very woo-woo, but I'll get to where I want to in a second. But like just consistently assessing, right? Like reflecting if the foods I'm eating are giving me the body I want, right? Just taking the time to pause and reflect on our daily habits. My income, right? The actions that I'm taking in my business, are they generating the income that I want or the influence I want? But I've also found that relationships, we tend to tolerate a lot because we're so giving and loving. But taking time and creating a moment of saying, these are the people that are in my life, and assessing those relationships. Is it mutual? Or is it always me just giving? I'm always there, picking up my phone, texting, sending contacts, sending referrals, but there's no reciprocity. It seems like a very one-sided relationship. It's time to reassess. Maybe not cut them off. I think it would warrant a conversation because there's a lot of people like that. And maybe their intention isn't wrong. They're busy, but you need to make sure that you're filling your bucket first, right? You need to make sure that, the relationship is mutually beneficial. It doesn't have to be equal in regards to commerce, but just making sure that energetically you feel like it's a mutual beneficial. And if not, like I always share, step one is a conversation. Bring awareness to it. And then I really can't stress enough, especially in this type of business where relationships are really everything, but the quality of your relationships will determine a lot, not just the amount of people in your life. I hope that makes sense, right? Just to press pause and reflect on it and really listen to yourself. Like, is this a person that I feel is mutually benefiting and they're always calling me and giving me and I'm giving them and it's awesome? Or is it really kind of like a energy out kind of relationship? I hope that helps.
It's really good. Let's give Billy Reuter a round of applause. And if I can go in, I want to go deeper on that. There's a tactical answer for this that I found because I have a large group of people to communicate with. I have a nice pool of about 12,000 people, which I'm very blessed, thankful for this community and each one of you. And I have to evaluate, and I've put each one of you in a bucket. So I want to be very clear. I judge all of you. I judge all of you. What can we do together? What can we do together? What can we do together? And that's allowed me, by the way, you do have to judge people. It's allowed me the freedom to know how much time I can spend with a person and what format I can spend with them. And because of the fact that many of you you're leaders of my community, the group that I care most about, this nation of entrepreneurs who are helping others, I spend the most time with you, right? I spend the most time with the leaders. I can do it in this format. And most of the leaders I have sat with at least once this month, one-on-one in a one-on-one conversation. So that's a group that I know I can one-on-one. But then there's people who are just starting in real estate who have no experience, no business, no money, no mindset, no motivation. I send them to books, right? So I send them to videos or something to watch. And then there's people who've been with us for a long time, followed from the outside, and they may get the introduction or invitation to the mastermind, where that's a little bit of a deeper relationship and it's got a consistent weekly component to it. So there's like, you can start building these buckets for relationships and different ways that you communicate One of the easiest things to do if you are talking to a lot of people and you're not walking away with something is you're probably saying the wrong things in the conversation. There's a book called Endless Referrals, which we read. It's again Bob Berg, and we read that in the challenge, which Gary talked about. You go to challenge.alchemiststation.com, and we talk about how to get those referrals. There's a couple of conversations you can have, but one specific to real estate investors. So if you're a real estate investor, which most every one of you on this call is, this is specific to you. If you're looking for more deals, then ask, who do you know who might have access to better deals or deals like this? So Dorina and I currently are in a phase of building a fund, and that fund's design is to invest in syndications, other people's syndication deals. And we're doing it because we want equity. We want access to equity. So we do have, Ron and I have a separate business that we run together where we lend out our money. We lend money out to people's projects. But this fund is something where we're actually getting equity inside deals. So we're bringing our investors' money to the deals. And so we started interviewing syndicators. We started looking for people who, and I fortunately interviewed over 50 syndicators. Dorina ran a group called Multifamily Network for years. So we have a lot of these relationships. And we've been asking, hey, what deals do you have? And one question you can add to if they don't have any deals, if they don't know, if they're not a syndicator. So this is the challenge, is you end up on calls with people who don't have what you're looking for. Show of hands if you've been on those calls, people who didn't have money, people who didn't have desire, didn't have deals. So if you end up on a call like that, it's like, hey, who do you know? For me, I would say, who do you know who's a syndicator who has deals right now? And then would you be willing to make that connection? Would you be willing to introduce me? So if you're on calls and you're not getting something you're looking for, it's probably because you're not clear about what you're looking for or asking to do the connections. And yeah, Larry, you're absolutely right. If we were that's a conversation for Ron to jump on a call to do the fund. Well, not the fund, but the lending that we've been doing. And oh man, whose microphone do I have to mute?
Hi, Fatima. This is Fatima.
Hey, Fatima, go ahead.
Yes. I actually need help. I started a real estate investment last year. I got a deal in Missouri, so I didn't get the chance to go take a look at it myself. So I sent a friend that lives there to check it for me. So he went there and said everything looks good without looking at the basement. So I bought it on auction, Ubzu auction. So after I bought it, then we went there to fix things to see if I can flip it. Then we got to the basement. The basement was flooded, and they already stole the heater, everything. It's just like an empty house. So I tried my best. So all the realtors over there said, no matter how much you spend on it, you're not going to make any money on it. So I just finally sold it last year. Like I think I bought it in 2021. I sold it last year around March. I lost 15,000 on it, and that was my first deal. So ever since then, I've been thinking, how do I move forward again? I'm stuck now. I don't have anything. I don't know where to start from again. So I'm thinking if I can maybe join the mastermind class or see how you guys can help me out.
Absolutely, Fatima. So let's schedule a call with Dorina, jump on a call with her, make sure that you're right, that we can do things with you to make sure it gets to the next level. I did have a question in the chat about the mastermind, if I could talk more about it. So this is probably a good opportunity. And Fatima, I'm sorry for your loss. Sometimes, we say in this business, the first deal is the worst deal. So the fact that you're still interested in continuing means you're going to do wonderful. One thing I will say is don't buy a bad deal. So we learned the lesson, and now you learn how to buy good deals. And that's one thing we all commit in the mastermind is good deals only. Only buy good stuff. So the mastermind meets on Mondays. Every Monday night, we meet at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We meet for about an hour. In that hour, we review net worth. We look at your net worth tracker. We ask you to do it every single week, so there is a commitment. And we do ask you to read a book a week. We will ask you what book you read, and that is more for collaboration. I've learned from people within that mastermind who are reading books I've never read before. And so I get new books, but also we all try to read similar books and share and get those insights. The reason we read a book a week is because that's what top CEOs do, and that's what multi-millionaires do. So we all want to and aspire to be better than we were the day before, which means we grab new information. The other thing that we do inside the mastermind is accountability. We will make sure that the three things, we're going to ask you what are the 3 wins you've had this week, and we're going to ask you what is the one thing that you can do in the next week that you guarantee you will accomplish. And it can't be cutting grass or washing the dog or doing the dishes. It has to be something that's an asset, something acquired. Either you're going to submit an offer, you're going to do a presentation in front of investors, or you're going to put your PowerPoint together. Some sort of asset must be acquired, whether it's a relationship or a tangible asset. And then the other thing we do is we evaluate deals. We aim to evaluate 1 to 3 deals per night to make sure that everybody knows how to evaluate deals, to see deals. One of the reasons it's so valuable to us is we're passive investors. So as we're reviewing your deals, sometimes we get an opportunity to invest in a deal, which is very exciting to us. I won't say we invest in everything, but we're always looking. We're looking for that deal that we can invest in. And that's one of the things that makes the mastermind so valuable is Ron and I are really old, like mentally old, not physically old. He's older than I am, but he's a lot older than I am. But we're also very much at the point where we like other people doing all the work. So the mastermind does have that component to it. Is we're looking at it as, could you be a partner down the road? And not saying right away, but maybe 2-3 years from now, as we see you develop and we really start to see what you do, could you be a partner? So it's there's a lot of layers to it. It's really about this long-term relationship and how do we all help each other and level up as a group. I will share, my goal is to own $5 billion worth of real estate with this community. And I'm very specific. It's with this community. If I did it without the community, I'd probably go to a big national property management company and a couple of hedge funds and, slap a portfolio that already exists together, just own it and drive it over. But doing it with this community will take me significantly longer, but it'll be significantly more impactful, more fun, more difficulty, I'm sure, but more impact across this nation. And we already have a lot of great investors in here doing it. So, Fatima, thank you for giving me a chance to talk about it. Give Fatima a round of applause. She's back in the game. She's back in the game. It's for each one of you. It is Saturday. You've got family.
You know what?
Yep,
I actually bought the CI pin from the connected investors, and I saw that house there. It looks like I'm going to make. They did the analysis. They said I'll make up to like 40,000 on it. So when my friend went there and didn't even bother to check the basement, I said, "Oh, I already looked at it on CI and network pin, so I should be good to go." Boom! I lost it.
It's all good. Connected Investors, another great platform. We love the community and I love what they're doing. I'm personal friends with some of the people who are in there, and deals come and go, right? You and not just you, Fatima, everybody on this call has been missing millions and millions and millions of dollars of deals every single day. For years and years and years, your entire life, been missing deals all over the place because you didn't know, you didn't talk to somebody, you didn't get out of bed that day, whatever it is, millions of dollars of deals have been passed and missed. We're not going to worry about that. Yep, go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, don't end. I put a post out there. I'm literally about to call a seller, and if you guys want to listen in, I'll let you guys listen in. I just can't put it on Facebook, so you'd have to kill Facebook. But I'll let you guys listen. It's up to you, Gawker. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Where is the link going to be? Where will you drop the link?
No, it's not going to be a link. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this forum right now. I'm going to call the seller this second and stay on here. I just can't. You just can't put it on Facebook. Everybody on here can watch it, but you can't put it on Facebook. It's up to you, though.
I'm logging off, but I can make you the host.
No.
If show of hands, do you like to stick around, see how the call goes with the seller? If interest is piqued, then what I will do is I'm going to make Larry Steinhaus the host of the Zoom room. And for everybody who is jumping off, I want to wish you a very good weekend. I want you to contact somebody in your family, tell them you love them. I want you to contact somebody in your business, tell them you're glad to be in business with them. And I want you to make sure that somebody inside your house gets a smile, a hug, and you tell them something about them that you really, really think is special. Show of hands if you can commit to doing all 3 of these things. That's a family member that's not living with you, that is a business partner or business relationship or a client, and then somebody inside your house. If you live with somebody, if you don't, then you are the person I want you to smile at and tell how special you are. With that being said, cheers. Oh, next week's wealth principle, I almost forgot. Next week's wealth principle is number 16. This is develop a fixity of purpose. So next week we'll be talking about your fixity of purpose. If you remember Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he said you needed a burning desire. You needed a fixity of purpose in order to be successful. We're going to work on that next week. That is a very important principle. And without it, you will have nothing. With it, you'll have everything. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you next week.
All right. So if you can he leave with me still being here? I'm not sure.
Oh, I can. You're gonna be the leader of the group. You're now the host. Let's
Okay,
give Larry
and
Steinhaus
you
a big
killed it
round of
off.
applause.
And it's not on Facebook anymore, right?
We're off Facebook. We're
Okay,
off
cool.
the recording. Custom
Okay.
stream is stopped.
All right. I'm gonna make this call, and you guys listen in and whatever. I mean, if they don't answer, then oh well. It'll be a short call. It'll be a short thing. But enjoy. Give me a second here. Let me call this guy. This was a lead, by the way, that I got this morning. Somebody called me this morning and said this guy